want my kids to look at me like a superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Now with today's world, the kids are so advanced.
I never.
Let's
shut up.
You're gonna be what I called you. Like, now come on and do what I told you to do.
For real, yeah. I miss him a lot.
I think it's more. I think it's more like an ego thing with parents. You know what I'm saying? They don't want other parents to look at them like, oh, that's how they're being brought up, or that's how.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Parental Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Tiana, and today's segment is sponsored by Faye's Coffee, fueling those early mornings and late night parenting moments. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Axel Merced, the founder of Barber Geeks. Welcome, Axel, and thank you for coming with us today.
And thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty well. I can't complain. So you're not only a founder of the Barber Geeks, you're also a parent.
Of course. I'm a parent of 3 children. I have a 23-year-old man. I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's beautiful, boys and girls. So tell me, how is it being a girl dad and a man dad? Tell me the differential.
Oh man, so having a boy, it's like having a brother. You know, a twin. Well, let me correct this. I'm also a twin.
Okay.
And my son, since I had him when I was 20, it's like having a young brother. So we fought a lot in the sense of arguments and, back and forth. And I'm still growing up at 20. So
Yeah.
so at that point, it was like I was raising a man or a younger brother.
Right.
But then having a son at 2, now that I'm 43, it's a lot different with the 2 age brackets. At the time when I was 20 and now I'm 40. My daughter, on the other hand, that's like my princess, my world.
Yeah.
It's so different having a daughter versus having a boy. Everything that I want to do in life, it's almost like I want to dedicate everything to her. I don't know why. I love all kids, all my 3 kids. I love them all.
Yeah.
But my daughter's special, she's different. She's my twin. She's my real twin right there.
How? In what way? What is she like?
So my son, let's say my oldest son, right? When I do work at the house, I do a little bit of carpentry as well. But when I do work at the house, my oldest son won't want to help. My daughter will be the first one at it. She was. I've been doing it since she was a baby, but she'll wake up and, Dad, can I help you? I'm here to help you. And if she hears me while she sleeps, she'll get up, come downstairs. Dad, I want to help you. Like, don't do it by yourself. You need help. I want to help you. So that, that touched me different because my oldest son won't want to help. Here's your 6-year-old daughter.
Right.
And that's all she wants to do is help me, So it's just like she stole my heart, basically with all my kids. I'm like, I always call her like a little thief. I'm like, you stole my heart, So that's how it is, the difference when having a boy and a girl.
That's
I'm pretty sure every man can relate to that point.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot of girl dads out there that say that their daughters stole their heart.
And we take pride in that. That girl dad stuff. We really take pride in that. Because mom got the boys.
Yes.
They steal the boys. The boys, I'm with mom. My daughter, I'm with dad,
Yeah, I can relate to that. My daughter, she loves her dad too. She loves me, I get it. But, she loves her father as well. Yeah. So when you initially first had your first baby, what was that like? Because you said you were 20. That would be considered pretty young.
That's young. I think that's young. My son, see the bad part about being young, and I think every man or every couple should have a kid at a young age. And the reason I believe that is because right now you have the most energy at 20. You have your family, your mother, your father, whoever helping you. So here's a chance for you to start a family and not get too old. Because some people will be 40 having their first kid, and I don't agree with that. I don't think it's fair for the baby to have an older parent than having young parents. And you're beautiful. Imagine you going to school with your child, say that's your mother. You know how that is. Oh, that's your mother.
Yeah,
that's cool. I think that's dope. Unlike having like my I never had my father in my life, so I never had the ability to just be like my mother or my father's gonna bring me to school or whatever. I just had my mother bringing me to school, doing all the work that she did for both father and mother. And but when you're 20 years old, like me, when I was 20, my son was born. I was able to still work on building my business and having my parents help me with my son and her parents, and So we did a lot early. If I would have had it maybe, late 30s, I think I probably wouldn't be in the level that I'm on right now. I'm okay, successful with the work that I do in my life, but it would have been a lot harder for me not to have the help, especially from my mother. She does a lot for me. So
That's
I'm a
awesome.
mama's boy too.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna get that out there because I do everything for my mother. You know what I'm saying? Just letting people know because. Men, and I'm not me, man. I'm surrounded by a lot of men. I mean, when I say men, I mean responsible fathers. Men, we take care of our family.
Yeah.
That's the people I surround myself with.
Beautiful.
I don't play around. I don't like losers. I don't like people that call their mother a B word.
Right.
I don't do that. I don't want that around me. So my whole squad is just a bunch of men that love their mother to the fullest. And we take care of what we have, our kids. And if we can, our mother, whatever, but that's where I'm at with this,
That's awesome. That's dope, and I think that a lot of men should resonate from what you just said. So kudos to you. So what was it like growing up with your mother? Was your father in your life? Was he?
No. So I was born a twin, and my father left us when he was. From the story that I know, my father, when he found out he was having twins, he took off. He was like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So when he took off, and then we moved. I used to live in Puerto Rico. We moved to New York. We lived out there for maybe 5 years. Then moved to Connecticut. So from then, when I realized my father wasn't in my life, and I'm trying to find out about him, and I'm reaching out, and I'm asking my mother to tell me stories about this guy, and she just has some. She deleted all the pictures or threw out all the pictures out of anger. You know how women get, and they start ripping stuff. And she didn't think about what we would have thought about that. So I never got to see him. I never met him. I don't know. I don't even know if he even cares. But I don't know if he even attempted to probably look for us or whatever. But what she did great was she showed me how to be a man, and because of her, that's why I love so much like my parents, my kids. And just people in general that are surrounding me. I show them love, and I try to do whatever I can to help out. But that's where the caring and everything come from. It's from my mother. So the love and everything for my kids and everything I do for my kids, because I do everything I can for my kids. Yeah. So it came through her.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's wonderful. Your mom sounds like a wonderful woman.
She is.
So since your father was absent, did you feel like a void? Did you feel different from other kids growing up or anything like that?
So my mother did a great job not letting me feel like that.
Okay.
Because she filled in the gap. But when I was hanging out with my friends, and they would say oh, let me ask my father. Yeah. Like if we was going somewhere, my friend would say, oh, I'm going to ask my father to take us. And that's when you start thinking about your father, because damn, all my friends that I hang out with all got fathers, and all of them, if our cars got messed up, if we needed a ride somewhere, the first thing they say is, "Let me ask my father." And we didn't have a father. I'm a twin. I was the only twin out of the whole group, and it was probably 20 of us. Yeah. And each group had a brother in the group, so it was like me and my brother, and my friend's brother, like that. So everybody had a brother in the group. But they all had their father. Oh, I see. We did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So because of that, I was able to, and me and my brother, what we did too, a lot of times is we'll correct each other like a parent. So if he did something wrong, and I hated it, I would correct him. And if I did something wrong, he would correct me. But so we was our father to each other. That's in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, for the most part, my father, when obviously when he wasn't in the picture, and my mother being in the picture, my mother doing everything that she can, she taught me all the valuable things that we have to learn as a man growing up, and how important it is to be there as a family. Yeah. So that's where now fast forwarding to my child, my first child, my son, who I thought was going to be my best friend. Yeah. I gave him the world. I sat there. I bought him everything. I thought, and this is the mistake that I think men do with their firstborn, and I think every man does that. I'm a barber, so I talk a lot to my barber clients and stuff. It's that you take your firstborn and you want to buy them the world. And just like a movie, or imagine like a series on TV, right?
Yeah.
You start watching the first show, and it's so good that you're dying to get to like the better parts. You're like, oh, I can't wait. And you ask somebody that already watched the movie, like, what's next? Instead of just waiting for the part, you're trying to rush to get there. So with my son, I was trying to rush because I was so excited to have a son. I was trying to rush to get to like, oh, I can't wait till he walked when he was born. I couldn't wait till he ran. I couldn't wait for school. And then I missed out on a lot by doing that because I skipped out on a lot. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Instead of enjoying every second, I didn't though. What I did was I just forward everything. And then I think because I was so young, I think me and him didn't build that strong bond that I thought we was gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I was still growing up, so my son would be left with my mother while I party. Well, I was still growing up, so so I'm still trying to go clubbing, hanging out with my friends. So at night, he'll be at the house, and I'm like, oh, it's already 9 o'clock. So in reality, you're supposed to be in bed. Right. It's my turn now. I got to go out. You know what I'm saying? When I should have been in bed with him, playing with him, watching whatever. But that's I don't think that's the problem that men have. The problem that we have is that as men and as show-off men, we want to do everything for our boy, especially we have a boy, and we buy them everything, and we forget that the most important thing is not material or money, is love and time, and we skip that. Right. We have it, and we know we're gonna give it to them, but we don't give it to them. We just know we have it. Just like telling somebody, oh yeah, you know I love you. But you don't say it though. Right. When you gonna say it? Say I love you then if you love me. Exactly. Let's hang out. Yeah. You don't say we're gonna hang out one day. Let's hang out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Put action towards your words.
Yeah. Yeah, so we skip that a lot. A lot of times we just skip all the fun parts because we're so anxious to get to the end that we skip. Yeah. Just saying.
A really good input that you gave right there. That was awesome. Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you have guy talk in the barbershop. So how does that guy talk filter into your household to parenting your children?
So every man that has kids that's around my age bracket, because the kids nowadays, they're different. Like the kids born today are different from the kids that were born in the 2000s. Yeah. 2000s and 10s and 15s and all that, they feel so. And I think even the 20s or the 2010s and in the 2000s, I think they feel entitled to everything. It's almost like you brought me to this world, so it's your job to pay for this stuff. I'm not gonna do nothing. Right. You gotta pay for it, and you gotta take me, and that's your job. Right. And you're like, well, you gotta go clean your room. You haven't even done nothing. I asked you to do this, do that, and you haven't done nothing. And you want me to go and buy you a game for your Xbox? Right. No, it don't work like that. But because of that, all of us have the same problem. The same thing that all the kids feel entitled, they don't respect, and then I'm from the old school. I'm very old school, so I'm very the way the morals and the respect and the loyalty and the trust, that's more important to me than love. At the end of the day, I don't care about love if you're gonna disrespect me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm happy you feel like that.
Oh, I do. You can't love me if you don't respect me. Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't go hands in hand. True.
Yeah. We use that because I think with love, the word love, people use love like
loosely.
Correct. Yeah. And there's two meanings to love. Because there's the love that you have that's authentic, like the way you love your kid or your mother, and you're like, I love them like I would die or kill for them. That's true love, right? And then you got the fake love that you be like, oh, I love you, but nothing goes beyond that. Yeah. Like, there's no action behind that. You still disrespect me. You still betray me. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's the same word. Yeah. And we got to learn how to separate that so that we know the true meaning of love and respect. Right. And but when we in the barbershop and all the men talk and everything, we all have the same problems with the kids not respecting or doing all the bad things in school, or even after school or outside of school, and because people work so much, they don't get to watch their kids a lot, so they don't spend time with their kids. So these kids are growing bad as hell. You know what I'm saying? So
they're being raised by like iPads and
by
society.
iPads,
Yeah.
oh my God, iPads. My daughter too, but my daughter, the beautiful part about my daughter is that my daughter has a sense of humor.
Okay.
And she's very funny. And she grew up in the barbershop with me. I took her with me because I learned from my first son, the absence of my first son, I would never repeat that again with my daughter. So my daughter, when she was born, I would take her with me to work, and I bought her a little desk and a chair, and she sits down, and all my friends play with her, and now she would go in the middle of 50 people and sing and put on a show and dance, and she's not shy.
Yeah.
And she'll see you and be like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Aaliyah. What's your name?"
Aww.
You know, like she's like that. She's 6, and so you know, that's the difference with when a dad is at home with their kids versus the ones that ain't with their kids because they're at work, and so therefore I want to make sure I don't miss out on anything. I'm no longer in a rush to get to the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I want to take my time. I want every second with my last 2 kids. Cause my oldest son, I don't talk to him. I haven't talked to him in like 2 years. We don't talk no more because my son, because I gave him the world, and and this bothers me because I gave my son everything I didn't have.
Yeah.
Like I missed out on a lot because I didn't have a father.
Yeah.
So because I didn't have a father, I gave him everything I was missing.
Yeah.
And in return, it made him greedy for everything I gave him. You know, everything was about money, and that's bad. The money situation is bad because we think we're doing the right thing by buying them and giving them everything. We skipping out so much.
Yeah.
And then they the minute you say no, everything you've ever done that was good
gets canceled out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done out the window. So me and him had a fallout, and he's and I love him,
Of course.
But he's very disrespectful in my eyes, and I if he even came to me and said, "You know what, Dad, I'm sorry about everything," I don't want that. I want an explanation. I want you to understand. I cried in front of you. If my mother cried in front of me, I'll cry with her. If I cried in front of you knowing that I'm hurting with pain for what you've done, and I don't see no emotion in your face, in your heart that you really care about that, you don't know that yet. You don't have the true feelings. What you're saying right now is bull. You know what I'm saying? So if my son sat there and said, "Oh, Dad, I'm sorry, let's just forget everything," I would say, "No, you got to explain what you're sorry about. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that we're going to forget about this. No, I'm not, because I got something holding inside my heart that you did.
Right.
And I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, let's start from scratch. No, we're not. I did all the right things. Where did we go wrong? I didn't go wrong. You did.
Right. You want him
I
to take
need to
accountability.
know what you did wrong. That you know and you realize that. I need you to fix that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with that.
But you do believe in forgiveness?
I do if it's authentic.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not gonna skip that. I'm not skipping that. I don't skip that. It's almost like if I did something wrong to you, right, and I know I'm doing it, I'm doing it, and you know I did it on purpose.
Yeah. And
then I get caught, then I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, really. I'm just sorry you caught me.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it like that. I want you to know that. I want you to know what's going on.
So beforehand, I remember you talked to me a little bit about your brother and his passing. How has that affected you from back then up until this point?
So when my brother passed away, I felt like lonely as hell. I felt like I was in this world alone because that was my so-called father, right? Like my father figure, my twin brother, my world, because that's who he was. He was my world, my heart. And he had a daughter when he passed away, and she was about, I think 2, close to 2. And so she didn't get to be raised by her father. And then shortly after that, they moved to Florida. So they spend years in Florida. So there was not a lot besides money that I could do for my niece. But with him passing away, and then me fearing the loneliness, because okay, so I look at it like this. So if I don't have a father, my grandfathers had died, my grandparents had died. So my twin brother died. I didn't meet my father. My grandfather died. And then the next thing is holding on to my mother.
Right.
Because it's like the only thing I got from the past.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the scary part. That's the scary part. So now I have to protect her, and that's why I do that. My daughter, when my son was born, my oldest son, he filled in the little gap that was really deep, lonely world that I had in my heart. He filled it in. Boom. And I was happy about that. But growing up and then, seeing the disrespect, because I stress that a lot because I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
I did all the right things and it still failed me. Like how? Like how my father fails me as a father, I correct that with my son, and you fail me as a son. Like
I understand.
What kind of so then my niece had a stepfather who raised her, did a great job with her. She has 2 kids, and she's a great mother.
Yeah.
And haven't met her kids. I haven't met them because she's in Florida, but
okay.
I'm hoping to go down there soon and then meet them as well. But but for the most part, she's got a husband and they do their thing, and they've been taking care of their family. So sometimes you gotta let a man be a man so you can step up.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to let them feel the struggles, the sacrifices, so you can become a better father, a better man.
Right.
On your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's it.
I agree. That was awesome. Before we wrap, I wanted to ask you, give me 5 things that you feel make up a great father.
Timing, to me, meaning spending a lot of time with your kids. It's probably side by side with love, because you could give all the love in the world to your kid in no time, and it's still not gonna work.
Okay.
Or you can give them all the time in the world, no love, it's still not gonna work. You have to give it together. They'll understand that. There won't be no negativity later on in life because you did your part. So the first 2 things would be love, timing. Second to that would be, I hate saying this, but like I know there's like religions out there that don't like mine, or don't believe in holidays and stuff like that, so they don't buy gifts. And I don't agree with that, but that's to each his own. But buy your kids gift. Don't be that one dude that say, or your kid saying, "I wish I had that," and you got it, but you rather have some Jordans on instead of buying your kids something they really want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So money will be third. And I hate when people say, "Oh yeah, money's not everything." Money pays for everything.
Money's a necessity.
You need that. So don't, I get it, but no, you need that.
Yeah.
So money, that, and then always show them the family. What's family? What's a union?
Right.
Unite your family and keep them together, because like my mother has a total of 15 brothers and sisters, and they're so far apart from each other sometimes that I'm just like, how you guys do that? I wish I had 14, 15 brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? But so unite them, if you have 3 baby moms and you have 3 kids, keep them together. Like, so what if there's 3 moms?
Yeah.
Keep your kids together. They're brothers and sisters. Just keep them together. Show them everything. Don't just pick one and do everything with one. You grab all of them and you do everything with all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what's that? And the rest would be making all the right choices.
Okay.
Stop making the choices for them. Teach them.
Right.
So they can make the choices in life. So investments and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you don't want them to be depending on whether it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Or
you want them to be
state.
self-sufficient.
You know what I'm saying? So teach them how to make the money.
Okay.
So That's it.
Those are awesome core values. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking out the time to sit and talk with me. I really enjoyed this interview.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Absolutely. Oh, please tell the people where they can find your barbershop at, where they can look you up at, what platforms.
So I'm from my businesses. Both of my businesses are in Bridgeport. I have a barber supply and a brand called Barber Geeks. You can find Barber Geek stuff in barbergeeks.com or 2466 East Main Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The barbershop, it's right next door, called The Pros, 2478 East Main Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Come check me out, you know what I'm saying? Come share some love with me. Talk about parenting. I'm cool. I'm down with that all day.
Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Well, everyone, once again, it's Parental Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Tiana, and this segment was sponsored by Faye's Coffee. Until next time.